Aspectiva has developed an NLP technology that combines both linguistic and statistical approaches for deep language understanding, analyzing product-related information such as reviews, customer feedback, and product descriptions to generate recommendations for any user need for any type of product or category. For example, Aspectiva provides recommendations on best products for picnics, best laptops for travels, best strollers for beach walking, and any kind of product recommendations that you can think about.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started. This episode is powered by J Ventures, a community-driven VC fund in Silicon Valley in partnership with Leumitech, sponsored by Homeward Ventures, Hippo Insurance, Upwest Labs, Synergy Global, Hillel at Stanford, Leap, Birthright Excel, Serona Partners, and in media partnership with CTech. This is a classic story of Israel's startup nation. Meet Ezra Daya, the founder and CEO of Aspectiva. Ezra is the co-founder and CEO of Aspectiva, a startup company acquired by Walmart in 2019 to establish its first R&D and innovation center in Israel. Ezra is an entrepreneur at heart, constantly striving to connect the dots between technology and business, with a spatial focus on AI for e-commerce and consumer applications. Prior to founding Aspectiva, Ezra managed the text analytics group at NICE Systems. He holds an M.Sc in computer science and is the owner of publications and patents in the field of natural language processing. Ezra Daya, welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Thank you so much for joining me from the Aspectiva offices, right?
Right, Aspectiva Walmart offices in Israel.
Aspectiva Walmart offices. Ezra, such a unique story, such a proud story in the Israel ecosystem, but a fascinating one for me. As an NLP enthusiast, as an academic enthusiast, I just love when people take deep technology and really interesting problems in their life, combine the two to find the synergy, opening up the first Walmart offices in Israel, and doing some really, really cool things. But before we talk about that, I have to ask, how do you and your wife speak 5 languages to your kids? How does that work?
Yeah, so my wife actually immigrated from Denmark to Israel. So she speaks obviously Hebrew, English, Danish, and French. Her mother is French.
Wow.
And myself, I speak English, Hebrew, and Arabic as a native language. So both we have 5 languages that we speak at home with the kids. Yeah, it's fun.
How do you know which one to talk at which point in time?
It depends. It depends when we don't want the kids to understand us. So English doesn't work anymore. So we switch to French with my lousy French, but we get along. And when I'm mad at the kids, so Arabic probably is the proper language.
I love it. Incredible. Ezra, take me back. I want you to take me back to 2013. You're sitting with your co-founder, Eyal. You have a problem. Paint me the picture.
Yeah. So, absolutely. So, I started, first of all, maybe just to give you some, very initial background about how did I, found myself in the NLP area. So I started my career as an NLP researcher and worked in several companies. And in my last role before founding Aspectiva, I led the NLP group in NICE Systems for several years, and Eyal was a team member in my team. So since ever, I was fascinated about the wealth of information over the web about anything and everything. I always looked for more and more information about things I was interested in. And of course, before making any purchase. So the thing is that I had to work very hard to find answers to simple questions like which hotel to book or which coffee machine is the best for my taste. So while I used my NLP skills and my team skills to solve business problems for companies I worked for, I thought, hey, it's about time to use my knowledge and experience to develop advanced NLP capabilities for end users this time, helping them make buying decisions by analyzing what people think about any product or service. So I decided to live nice and I offered Daya to join me in this journey. And we both started a new exciting journey. That's how Aspectiva started.
What was, if you had to distill the thesis that you had when you started Aspectiva with your background in Yahoo and Nice and Eyal's background and the problem that you're facing, what was the thesis that the two of you agreed on, which triggered your ability to go and start on this journey together?
So on one hand, the solution had to be automatic by all means. It means it should work automatically for any type of product or category without any human intervention. Otherwise, it's not scalable. It just won't work. An e-commerce website that sells everything, like Walmart, right? And on the other hand, it should be super precise, meaning that if the target audience is a simple user, you can make mistakes. The target audience is not analyst in a company that can, somehow deal with machine outputs. But when it comes to a simple user online, you can't screw up. It should work. So on one hand, it should be fully automatic, and on the other hand, it should be precise. So we thought that we can make it, and that's how we got the courage to go to this journey.
I love it. So you're starting out with, with Eyal. Walk me through some of the exciting moments of this journey, and later on, I have to understand what it's like getting acquired by Walmart and opening up the Walmart office in Israel.
Yeah. So we started. First of all, we had to raise funding, right? But we had to work first on the solution. But I was lucky enough to find very quickly the first $1 million as a seed fund from angel investors in the retail areas. And we started to, hire people that we worked with in the past in the NLP area and started to work on the solution. It was an amazing journey. So, when talking about excitement and challenges, so first of all, fundraising and dealing with investors, especially in the early stages, is not a big fun, right? So it's quite challenging.
Especially when you're used to dealing with NLP models throughout the day, and now you have to work with investors, right? It's a little bit of a different experience.
Yeah, definitely. And I would say that one of the most exciting moments was going live in the first integration in a global e-commerce website and see how the solution we created really works. That was amazing. So, you
Paint me
started
the
to
picture.
figure out.
What was that situation like? Were you huddled together in a room, separated your own houses? What was going on?
Yeah, so we worked very hard on the integration, and integrations doesn't work from the very first shot, and it's from the beginning it's very frustrating. You think, oh gosh, the solution doesn't really work. That's it, we're finished. But then you realize that the problem is not with the algorithms, it's not with the NLP. It is with simple user experience issues you couldn't think about. Yeah. And then when you do the needed adaptations and fixes, we went live in the first integration. I think it was in shop.com, global US website, e-commerce website. And, it was amazing receiving the feedback from the chief revenue officer, showing a clear impact on the online shoppers and a clear increase in sales. And you started to see the traffic using your solution, interaction with the Aspectiva's widget in the website, and you figure out, hey, it really works. We are making impact on the way people make shop online, right? And we help them to buy with confidence now with our solution, the Aspectiva solution.
Incredible. The moment you understand that the part of the dissonance was the gap was the consumer experience. How did that affect or change the way that you're approaching the future iterations of your product, especially as you're approaching this from a very academic, very deep technology mindset and a deep expertise? Yet at the end, you're building a product that consumers need to enjoy using. It needs to provide them with this delightful experience, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we started to build several UIs for example, we had a specific use case, user interface for hotels, for booking, hotel bookings.
Yeah.
It's a different experience. And we had a different one for regular e-commerce. And for fashion, we created a different one. So that's how we started. But still, there is the first phase in the integration is fine tuning. You always need the first stage of fine tuning, and this is something that you had to set expectations with the customer that it's not going to work for the first try. You had to do the fine tunings until you find the right balance, the most convenient way for the online shoppers to consume the data that they bring to the website.
Right. Now, the next phase beyond just understanding, doing NLP was the ability to personalize the results and really change retail, right? So if you're looking at hotels and you're looking at e-commerce, that's great. But what was that shift to retail like with Aspectiva that eventually led to this great partnership with Walmart?
Yeah, so Aspectiva has developed an NLP technology that combines both linguistic and statistical approaches for deep language understanding, analyzing product-related information such as reviews, customer feedback, and product descriptions to generate recommendations for any user need for any type of product or category. For example, Aspectiva provides recommendations on best products for picnics, best laptops for travels, best strollers for beach walking, and any kind of product recommendations that you can think about. We also figured out that we can generate actually answers to complex questions like what are the differences between two given products? Why one product is better than the other one? And so on, so on. Many complex questions about products that can be used, for example, in devices like Alexa, for Alexa shopping. And before being acquired by Walmart, we were in the process with, in a POC with Amazon, using our technology for Alexa shopping.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was, the first acquisition offer we received was from Amazon, by the way.
Incredible. Ezra, take me to the day after. You're running a startup, you're dealing with investors, you have employees, you have your burn rate, you have your annual your annual revenue rate, but what happens the day after you get acquired? You and Eyal, what do you do? How do you, what changes? What stays the same?
Yeah, everything. Actually, everything is changed after the acquisition. So first of all, you had to, there are very, tough things you have to make. First of all, you have to terminate all the agreements you had with customers. So before joining Walmart, we worked with various companies in the US, including Bed Bath & Beyond, Booking.com, Sony, and others.
Wow.
It wasn't easy to terminate the service with these companies, especially with Sony, by the way. They took it very hard. and yeah. So,
that's a good sign.
Absolutely, it is. And so, as I mentioned before the Walmart acquisition, we were already in acquisition process with Amazon. And then Walmart came into the picture bidding against Amazon for acquiring the company. So it was really an amazing experience having negotiations both with Amazon and Walmart as a two
Was it
retail
fast? Was it
giants.
slow? How how does it feel to be in the middle of all this?
So with Walmart, it was very fast. We were about to close the deal with Amazon.
Wow.
And yeah, and just before closing, Walmart got into the picture, and we ran into a very quick due diligence process with Walmart. It was crazy. It was really crazy. A process. I didn't see my family, didn't see my kids. Um, but I think that the moment that that you realize, hey, this is the point we worked for very hard is when you are negotiating the the acquisition price. I must say this is something that I didn't you couldn't believe that this is the point when you agree on the price, and from that point everything is very easy. And
Incredible.
we are lucky to have two acquisition offers in order to make a bid between the two. And when it was clear that we are going with Walmart, and it was for many reasons, by the way, not just because of the deal size, but also the potential of using the system, using the NLP algorithm that we developed, had a lot more potential in Walmart. Walmart is, I'm sure that our audience, are familiar with Walmart, but the numbers are, you know,
Astronomical.
absolutely. There are 2.5 million employees in Walmart.
That is a number that I think very few people, including myself, can fathom. And I have to share with you, Ezra, before you continue, I took a course about a product, and we were working closely with an executive from Target about different technologies to incorporate in Target, a Walmart competitor. And we were looking at NLP, and we were looking at the different things, and I was constantly mind blown at the size of these companies, the impact that they have. I think with Walmart specifically, there are stats about the proximity of a Walmart to every American in the US. The accessibility is ridiculous. The way that they're thinking about innovation is incredible, and we don't hear enough about it in Israel, I have to say. But it's something that for me, I got a really big shock out of it. So please go on.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Walmart is, it's a Fortune 1 company, right? It means that it's a word of everything. You have everything in Walmart. Yeah, as you mentioned, 90% of the Americans live, like 10 miles around
Incredible.
a Walmart store. So the distribution is amazing. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of potential in Walmart, and we decided to go with Walmart. And I might say that the process was, we felt at home with Walmart. Really,
That's incredible.
visiting Bentonville was very exciting, very amazing. Walmart headquarters are in Bentonville. We felt very convenient closing the deal with Walmart, and that's what we did. And I'm glad that my investors also agreed that Walmart should be the one to acquire Aspectiva. And yeah, so we found ourselves as the first Walmart acquisition in Israel, first tech office of Walmart in Israel. This is very exciting.
I love it. How did your employees take it? Your partners that worked very hard. What was their reaction like internally? What was the vibe? There wasn't Slack back then, but what was the vibe before what would be the vibe on Slack today?
Um, wow, I can't believe it. It's a dream that comes true. We worked very
Yeah,
hard for 6, 7 years to reach to this point. That 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 was the reaction of my employees.
incredible.
it was astonishing. I can also say that at the first day after the acquisition was announced, all my employees got a mail from Amazon. They didn't know that we're going to close with Walmart, offering them to move to Amazon. It was, yeah. So at that point, they really wanted to buy Aspectiva, and they were very disappointed that it didn't work out. So it was, at the same time, I was very happy to be part of Walmart. But again, I also got, we developed relationship with the Amazon team, great team. And I wish we could be with both teams, right? But it's not possible to be realistic.
Right, so 100%. Yeah. Ezra, I think that the journey is so fascinating, and I personally I love it, and I wish for myself one day to develop something that is meaningful enough to go to have the success that Aspectiva had. But because really, I mean, what it sounds like is that you have this this background, you have this understanding of a technology, you have this pain point that you realize, you very accurately develop a technology to solve that pain point. Obviously, that pain point is so big and is so relevant in a timely manner that there are various, of the biggest companies in the world that are posing a lot of interest in this. And the way that you're talking about the humanity behind this acquisition, and the way that you are approaching it, the way that the bidders felt about it, I think that really shows a little about who Aspectiva is and the type of company that you've built. And very proud, in the very proud story in the Israel ecosystem. So thank you very, very much, and thank you for the inspiration, and just continue doing amazing things for our ecosystem and developing great technologies. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. It was a pleasure.
Appreciate it.